All right, we're going to jump right into topic number 2, and that's called changes. Let me frame the topic up real quick for you. Changes. Are there, and this is a question, are there any realistic social, behavioral, and conceptual changes that African Americans might consider in order to advance the plight of African Americans in financial, social, political, and economic endeavors? What are your thoughts?
What are your thoughts, OBT?
We always talk about empowerment, right? There's a couple of things we probably can do. Just like the last topic we was talking about, we got to get together, networking, pooling our money together.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to develop, all right, especially in the inner city, develop a real black community. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, every house, there should be no way a word called ghetto in the black community. It doesn't have to be that. Your house doesn't have to look like garbage. Garbage shouldn't be on the street. You should be able to live anywhere. So first of all, we got to clean up our act. We got to pool our money together. We got to start purchasing homes. We have to buy stores. Like I was saying before, you can barely name grocery stores that's owned by black people that I know of in the city of Patterson.
Right.
So when I was younger, there was a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a lot. There was a few of them. And even the barbershops. A lot of the barbershops now are different nationalities. You know what I mean? So, right now we're losing, but we need to get together. We need to start trying to pool our money together and get that black power back.
But real quick, what do you think, what's the issue was keeping us apart? That's when we're all trying to figure out, let's do this. Why are we not doing this?
Slave mentality, that Jim Crow mentality. Not Jim Crow, the
crabs in the barrel.
Crabs in the barrel, bro. How we separate ourselves. I'm jealous of you. Why am I jealous of you? I don't know, because maybe you look better than me, or you look sharper than me, or what have you. I'm not hanging out with him. I don't like all that jealousy nonsense, man. It's crazy. And it's not always just alpha males either. It could just little silly things that keep us apart. I mean, I posed a question to Katie maybe, 5-10 years ago, and maybe he'll remember this. I told him that if you had 4 people coming together and you want to start a business, and everybody had to put in 25%, and one brother that you selected didn't have the 25%, he had 20%. What would you do with that individual? Mm-hmm. Katie, you remember what your answer was to me?
I don't recall.
Okay, I do. The answer was.
What was the answer, OBT?
The answer was he had to go. We had to get somebody else.
That sounds like Katie.
Now at that point, it does.
It does.
So, but realistically,
give him the 5%.
No, this is what I think you should do. There's a reason why you chose that individual. There was something about his character or something about that individual. So if he only has 20%, then on the return, he only gets 20%. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's fair. Instead of just like
right. Instead of stop. No, don't cut out people.
That's Katie though.
Hey, I don't remember that. He said it was 10 years ago.
It's still your character today.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't invite me to a lot of business functions.
Because you don't have the full 25%.
I don't have the full 25%.
Katie don't be playing.
I told him I'll sweep the floor.
Katie don't be playing.
But I think if we can probably start a big revolution and go back to planting some gardens. We got so many condemned fields out here that let's say, okay, you ain't gonna build a house there. Okay, let's put a garden there. Can we even do the simple knowledge to and understand this? They've taken seeds off of shelves in supermarkets and now hardware stores. Because we're becoming so just main consumers and not being producers anymore that we don't even understand that when we're making it easy and saying, let's go, oh, that's a seedless grape. It's a seedless orange. It's easy. No, that's telling you that's being mass processed and cloned. It's nothing natural. There's no real vitamins in that. Versus back in the day, like I said, my grandmother showed me how to turn that soil. We had greens, we had peppers, tomatoes, of course, you know what I'm saying? We don't even know how to really produce for ourselves if something was to happen.
So you're talking about changes. You're talking about,
yeah.
And that's what we labeled this segment. You're talking about changing the way that we're thinking.
We have to. And even with the African American Heritage Parade that was here, I was blessed through the NAACP and was able to lead that flag. And I don't care if nobody knew what it meant to me to be in that guy in the front carrying that flag, but seeing how many of our peoples was out there. And then I said once to my own brother, I said, You went to the Dominican Day parade and was acting out, having a blast. I asked you to walk with me in the parade, and you didn't. And some of our people that did say, "Oh, I didn't know it was a parade." Now we get to the festival. We got all these underground little rappers and all this stuff. I'm pretty sure we can really put together a real venue and have that parade bigger. I ain't gonna say the biggest, just bigger.
Bigger
You
than
know,
what it's
because
been.
it's no way in the world the strength of our peoples. We are sitting here and letting ourselves just wash away. We haven't, and I look forward to that. I told Miss Ada Pugh, I said, I don't care where I'm at in the world. If I was lead pastor, I'm coming back to lead that parade. I'm coming back to lead that parade.
I hear
know what
that.
I'm saying?
I
So
hear that.
that's one of the first things we need to get back.
I remember you with the flag, with the young man.
Yeah.
With the flag, I was right behind you guys
Okay.
with the flag, doing your thing, leading that parade. But what you're talking about, like I said, and like we started we named this segment, changes. We're talking about a situation where we might have to look at, examine, and actually make. And I'm talking about execution. Make some actual changes in the way that we are thinking. You know, OBT started it off with, some economic changes and things of that nature. This is something that we really want to look at and examine. What do you ladies think?
I absolutely agree.
I agree
totally
completely.
agree. With both gentlemen.
I think that we need to look at our financial picture totally different. There's just certain things that we do as parents growing up in that community, because I just want to say I grew up with an African American woman, and so there were certain things that were, you invest in the way you dress, and there's just certain things that I would just rather invest on a little differently these days. I would not spend the amount of money that I would have on Rockaware for my daughter. I would have taken her to an opera instead, or I would have taken her to, I would just have done a lot of things differently. Certain things that are just common in our community should just be a little different.
And just packing on opening minds, like we were talking about with the first topic, we have to not be afraid to put stuff out there, like Liz Rosa was just saying. Spending less money on, and she mentioned a clothing line called Rockaware, which is not even it's not even hot today.
No, it's not. But I spend a lot of money.
You know what I mean?
on it.
It's gone. It's over.
Right.
And many of us spent a lot of money on it
Right.
because we placed, not all of us, but many of us placed a lot of priority on stuff like that
Right.
when we need to expand our horizons, and we have to hear these things. Not that they are right, not that this is the best thing ever coming from the urban renaissance,
Right.
but we want to hear the stuff that Gerard Rogers is saying, Liz Rosa is saying, OBT. We have to be able to begin the conversation, and I think that that's where we start. And it's become politically correct that we don't question any of our decisions, whether they're past decisions or current decisions. It's become politically correct that everything that everybody is doing is okay.
I have to agree.
And unfortunately,
It shouldn't be, and
that's not the
definitely shouldn't be
reality
correct.
of the
No.
situation.
Yeah.
Everything that
Everything isn't correct.
that we are doing, we includes me. Everything that we are doing is not okay. And we need to start listening to some other voices and putting that into our hearts and minds and making some positive corrective action.
I agree.
And that's what I think this show is a
Self-examination,
platform
constantly.
for. We are, this is a great topic. Do we have it on the group?
Do we?
I don't recall.
I don't think-
I'm not
I don't remember.
I don't
seeing
think this
on
one
the
is on the group,
Yeah.
but we will have to post this. If you beat us to it, go to the Urban Renaissance Arts and Entertainment Group and post something relative to this particular topic. It's dealing with changes. And who better to talk about changes than my man Tupac Shakur? And we'll go into our fourth break here with changes.